Welcome everybody to the Voice of the One podcast. This is Isaiah-Kenney speaking. You can call me Kenny. Let's continue the lovely series, Plants and Miracles. Learning A Course in Miracles with Ayahuasca. Today, we're going to focus on a luminous healing idea. An idea that is so deeply ingrained in the teaching of the Ayahuasquero. However, many Ayahuasqueros out there, many curanderos, curanderas, have yet to learn it. Let's not let you be one of them. It's lesson 135 in A Course in Miracles. If I defend myself, I am attacked. We're not going to read the whole thing. I highly recommend that you do. I suggest it to everybody. Just a small segment. If I defend myself, I am attacked. Who would defend himself unless he thought he were attacked, and that attack were real, and that his own defense could save himself? And herein lies the folly of defense. It gives illusions full reality, and then attempts to handle them as real. It adds illusions to illusions, thus making correction doubly difficult. And it is this you do when you attempt to plan the future, activate the past, or organize the present as you wish. You operate from the belief you must protect yourself from what is happening, because it must contain what threatens you. A sense of threat is an acknowledgement of inherent weakness, a belief that there is danger which has the power to call on you to make appropriate defense. The world is based on this insane belief in all its structures, all its thoughts and doubts, its penalties and heavy armaments, its legal definitions and its codes, its ethics and its leaders and its gods, all serve but to preserve its sense of threat. For no one walks the world in armature, but must have terror striking at his heart. Defense is frightening. It stems from fear, increasing fear as each defense is made. You think it offers safety, yet it speaks of fear made real and terror justified. Is it not strange you do not pause to ask, as you elaborate your plans and make your armor thicker and your locks more tight, what you defend and how? And against what? Let us consider first what you defend. It must be something that is very weak and easily assaulted. It must be something made easy prey, unable to protect itself and needing your defense. What but the body has such frailty that constant care and watchful deep concern are needful to protect its little life? My friends, if you defend yourself, you will believe you are attacked. This is a high teaching of ayahuasca. And as I said, it's very common in medicine circles that the curanderos and curanderas have not yet discovered this truth. They use many different protection devices as part of their magic rituals because they just don't know. And that's okay. If you look at what's taking place in that area of the world for thousands of years, you'll see what's going on. You see, wherever there's division, there's conflict. And conflict is attack. This is a very important axiom that you must learn. The great Krishnamurti spoke about it as spiritual law, and it is. You see, in the Amazon, many of them live in a false identity of tribalism. aside from the fact that they're attempting to plan the future, activate the past, and organize the present as they wish as a form of attack, they've yet to see the simple truth. Now, we want to see this as we move into that. See, if you hold on to a sense of separation where I'm Shipibo and you're Chapawana, well, then you're divided. Just like if you're an American and a Russian. It doesn't matter. You have to be willing to let go of all division in your mind and begin to study all defenses and let go of every single one of them. Now, there is right defense, and right defense always lacks judgment. It's defense that has no attack. It's your only real defense. We'll talk a little bit about that as we go along. So, wherever there's division, there's conflict. And you can see the tribesmen of the Amazonian jungle for a very long time have lived in conflict with each other. The men were very warish. And if I'm part of this tribe and you're part of that tribe, well, I need to protect my women, my food, my livelihood. I need to prevent you from encroaching in. And people are very territorial. Men, generally speaking, in the world are very territorial over their women. And we have to see all of this. We have to see it rightly. We have to see that if there's a point of division inside of us, then there's going to be attack. And what are we really doing? We're defending a fragment, an illusionary fragment in the mind, a false self of which we think we are. And we're very defensive. And we don't know how defensive we are. And that defense that's holding up the illusion of attack prevents us from correction. Now, you can think of it in terms of justification, rationalization, and excuses. I'm sure everyone listening to this talk has met an alcoholic in their lifetime, or some other addict, even though we're all addicts when it comes to thinking, attempting to plan the future, activate the past, and organizing the present as we wish. But right now, let's just talk about the alcoholic. So the alcoholic gets questioned. And someone says, "Hey, Kenny, you're an alcoholic. You got a DUI. This is your fourth one. And you ended up in a hospital. Man, I think you got a drinking problem." And what do you say? No, I don't. I have no drinking problem. Yes, you do. You have a drinking problem. See, the alcoholic is holding on to a defensive position. He's holding on to an illusion, to a personality that thinks that alcohol is going to solve his problem because he really feels threatened and he just wants to feel okay. And alcohol is his defensive mechanism. It's his coping mechanism, just like his false thinking apparatus. "Hey, Kenny, you got a thinking problem." "What? No, I don't." "You're addicted to thinking. You can't stop thinking." "What are you talking about? I definitely do not have a thinking problem. Thinking is normal. I go think all the time. I love thinking. I like to go sit and hang out with my friends and do some things and drinks. I don't have any problems thinking. Hey, I like to plan. I like activating the past. I like organizing the present as I wish. Addict, addict, addict. So you have to ask yourself, are you an addict? How are you defending yourself? Your sense of division, your false identity, the part of you that believes that you can somehow have a fulfilling, happy life by deciding what to do. Ayahuasca attempts to teach you what it means to defend yourself in all its forms. Because it simply aims to teach you that you can't stop thinking, that you are living in a terrible thinking addiction. It's really quite normal. We were all born this way. We were taught this way. We grow up and they said, you got to think. Are you a good thinker or a bad thinker? And the general teaching of the world is that you can learn to have maturity in your own judgment. And we're saying that's a total illusion. That thinking, that judging from a center is what creates all your pain. It's the defensive mechanism that you must learn to let go of. This teaching resides in every spiritual tradition that exists. If you look at Vedanta and the direct path, very frequently you'll hear to let go of the doer. You also hear the same term in A Course in Miracles. I need do nothing. You have to begin to see, however dimly, that if there's a doer there, a life manager, someone that manages their own life, like they talk about in the 12 and 12, the 12 steps and the 12 traditions of AA and every other 12-step fellowship. As long as there's a you there who believes that he can manage his own life, well, he's going to have a bunch of thoughts that are there that he thinks are himself. And he's going to go along trying to come up with some scheme, some new fangled plan, some way to make some more money that he believes is going to give him a life of happiness. When really, all it does is produce pain. So, what is pain? Division. What's defensiveness? Division. What's attack? Division. What's thinking from a center? It's division. All right, let's take another step. Everyone listening to this talk must examine, either once again or for the first time, that there's no security in privacy. All right, you're going to have to keep an open mind here, some of you, okay? Because it's a very fearful thing for a lot of people. But if you think about it, if you look at it, you'll see. Can a whole mind be private? If there's only one mind, wholeness, universal mind, if wherever there's division, there's conflict, how can having a private mind and defending a private mind, choosing from a private mind, planning from a private mind, give you peace. It can't. It can't give you peace. So you have to begin seeing how you're defending yourself in every single form. Because as long as you defend yourself, you won't be able to give up the illusion of attack. All right, so let's take a look at the alcoholic. So what happens with the alcoholic? Well, once he goes through the process of exhaustion, or perhaps he has a miraculous insight, very rare, but can certainly happen. He sees, hold on a second, maybe I am an alcoholic. He begins to inquire. He begins to look at himself. He begins to open up. You see, he starts taking a journey through spiritual principles. He's getting honest with himself. He has a willingness to look at himself with an open mind. Ooh, we're coming upon some defenses here. Dishonesty, closed-mindedness, unwillingness. Well, what do you know? What is the state of a mind that lives in dishonesty, closed-mindedness, and unwillingness? It's a state of pride. You already know. You can't be told. It's a state of a mind that's holding on to a fixed position. It's a state of mind that's justifying and rationalizing, that's making excuses. It's a state of mind that's thinking. Thinking because its identity is being threatened. Now, I submit to you, no matter who you are, no matter what your identity is, black or white, transgender, homosexual, heterosexual, the belief you're a body or otherwise, if you feel threatened at all, if you feel victimized, if you feel you're being attacked, what you feel is being attacked isn't real. It's a false identity. And you've been working really hard to hold up a separate thought system that holds on to a story or the miscreation of a personality that you have identified yourself as, and now you're living in time. See, that's another defense. Holding on to a history and saying, that's me. The me and the not me. The us and the them. And we start to see we have all these labels. That's essentially the problem. If there were no labels, well, there would be no me there. And therefore, no me and not me. There wouldn't be this point of comparison. There you go. There's another defense. How far can we go? So we start to take a look at what's going on, at our own defensiveness, and we got to get honest with ourselves to see if we plan our life, if we live from past learnings, if we try to choose and organize the present as we wish, has it ever really worked out for any of us? And if there is someone there that's responsible, oh my God, the responsibility of it, the false responsibility for you to defend yourself creates all of your thinking, all of your worry, all of your anger, all of your depression. Can you be worrisome? Can you be angry? Can you be depressed if there isn't a me there that has a personal history? What happens if you're not thinking? Which means not defending yourself. feel pretty good. It's quiet. See, this is very important to understand, particularly when you're heading into an ayahuasca ceremony. And I say particularly because I don't want you to get lost in the disease of tribalism. There is one tribe, one light, one family, the tribe of the one light of the Son of God. And you can either be part of that tribe or you can go be a part of other tribes. If you're a part of other tribes, then you'll always feel like you have to defend yourself. And you'll have to come up with schemes to do it. And you'll always feel threatened. And when you get into the ceremony and they hand you a bunch of stuff and tell you to have this and smoke that and whatever else to protect yourself from the evil that might come in, you're going to say, hold on a second, that doesn't make any sense. I'm defending an illusion. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Now, what happens when you stop defending yourself in the ayahuasca ceremony? You let go of the grievance. And you start to usher in this new intelligence, this quiet voice that allows whatever is taking place to be. And you start to work through your conditioning. Now, if you're stuck in your mind, which most people are, and this is very normal when you drink ayahuasca, you start flopping around like a fish. The medicine gets very dominating. But it's really not the medicine at all. It's your own mind refusing to let go of defensiveness. Refusing to give up the idea that you can somehow defend yourself to protect yourself. Absolutely nutty. The only real defense that you have is defenselessness. To let go of judgment. So you're not going to judge the curanderos, the shaman, when they offer you protective devices. You can accept them as lovely peace offerings. Have them a pacho. You can accept it as a prayer, like a Buddhist prayer wheel. And you can say, thank you so much. I appreciate you giving me this offering for peace. See, you have to stop interpreting reality the way that you've been interpreting it. You have to move away from the interpretation of the ego into the interpretation of the Holy Spirit and start to move into the innocent perception. Nobody has done anything to you in your life. Not one person. Everything that's happening, you did to you. All attack is self-attack. And what happened here is totally an illusion. This world is not real. Now, it's real enough to a mind that believes in it. And now we're learning together how you go beyond it. In your determination to let go of the divided mind and start inquiring into all of your defenses, like the addiction to talking. Blabby, can't shut up, always running over people, can't wait to get the next word out, gotta have the last word, gotta rehearse what I'm gonna say, all this nonsense. You can just be. Have no concern about the direction of your speech. You don't have to be somebody. You don't have to fix anybody. You can't fix anybody. You can't fix yourself. If you did, you'd have to do something, and you can't fix anybody else. All right, I'll pull that back just a little bit. You are a little responsible. Your little responsibility is to have a willingness to look at yourself. Jesus calls this the slogan of the Great Crusade. Listen, learn, and do. The listening is an inner listening. You're paying attention internally to what's going on, to the way the ego wants to get you absorbed into every single thought that comes, that lives in this constant state of defensiveness, in its judgment, resenting all the time, believing in all kinds of ideas that aren't real. And you start to observe them. And you don't want to look at them in past terms. You have to come fresh and new. You don't want to look at them from the entity that lives in the past, the thinker. You want to rise above it. You want to observe the thinker. You want to be this place of awareness, this listening awareness that's observing this thinker. Now, learning implies no past. So what can you do? You just be. Practice being. Being is learning. And then what takes place is miracle doing. Now you can be a miracle doer. Now your mind, less occupied, or at some point completely unoccupied, is very useful. You can now be thought to. Thoughts will come through you. Instead of you thinking from this self-initiated place, you can rest. It's a very lovely position. Now you might lose it as you go along. And in the beginning, there's some right effort because you haven't quite reached the place of surrender. Total surrender. I myself am still reaching a place of total surrender. And for me, that's a pretty high place. I've yet to meet a single master or heard a single master, that I feel has actually gone all the way. All the way from A Course in Miracles standpoint implies letting go of a lot of defenses that people don't even know that they have. In Course terms, not that you're expected to do this, you can let go of the whole idea of nutrition. You can be completely unaffected by the weather. You can reach a place where you feel no physical pain, no pain at all. Now, how do you achieve that? By letting go of all of your defenses so that correction can take place. How is that done? How does someone go through those very challenging conditions? We don't know. But that's how you know. You know by understanding you can't know. And that's how knowing happens. Maybe this sounds a little unbelievable. I would direct you to lesson 136 in A Course in Miracles. Very beautiful lesson. Sickness is a defense against the truth. This is one of the more challenging lessons in A Course in Miracles. It really boggles the mind. It basically teaches that sickness is an idea. It has meaning. Defenses have meaning. Thinking has meaning. As long as we value thinking, then we can't let go of it. As long as we value the laws of the world, we can't go beyond them. But we can go beyond them if we discover for ourselves that sickness is a defense against the truth, and are willing to accept the truth of who we really are and let our minds be healed. Let's read this passage from lesson 136. Sickness is a defense against the truth. I will accept the truth of what I am and let my mind be wholly healed today. Healing will flash across your open mind as peace and truth arise to take the place of war and vain imaginings. There will be no dark corners sickness can conceal and keep defended from the light of truth. There will be no dim figures from your dreams, nor their obscure and meaningless pursuits with double purposes insanely sought remaining in your mind. It will be healed of all sickly wishes that it tried to authorize the body to obey. Now the body is healed because the source of sickness has been opened to relief. And now you recognize you practice this well. The body should not feel at all. If you have been successful, there will be no sense of feeling ill or feeling well, of pleasure or pain. No response at all is in the mind to what the body does. Its usefulness remains and nothing more. So are you willing to discover the truth that if you defend yourself, you are attacked? And begin to let go of your defenses. Because until you do that, you're going to hold on to all your sickness and all your problems and all your thinking. You see, sickness has value for us. We value thinking. We value our defenses. We value the rewards of the world. And we have to see they're no longer serving us. I offer you my certainty that ayahuasca will help you see this truth. That if you bring this healing idea to ceremony, if you bring it to your airport journey, if you bring it to all those you meet at the retreat, and your desire to have a holy relationship, to see the world as yourself, to be willing to go beyond it, to find acceptance in your life, to surrender. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode. I'd like to once again offer you this healing idea to all those who come across a challenging ayahuasca ceremony, who are working really hard to let go of something that isn't serving you anymore. Ayahuasca is my friend. Ayahuasca is my friend. Stop living in the great mistake, believing this world has something to offer you because you lack something, and shift to the great appreciation for this moment. Learn to forgive. Learn to overlook. Learn to see beyond. Learn to allow correction to take place. Ayahuasca is my friend. I'll sing you a little song. Ayahuasca, ayahuasca, my friend, forever. Ayahuasca, 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 my friend, forever. Ayahuasca, 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 my friend, forever. Ayahuasca, 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 I love you forever, my friend. Ayahuasca, 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 my friend, forever. Ayahuasca, 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 my friend, forever. Ayahuasca, ayahuasca, my friend, forever. I love you, ayahuasca. I love this moment, ayahuasca. I appreciate this moment so much. Muchas gracias. Thank you. Hello again, everybody. Thanks again for listening to the Voice of the Wand podcast. If you have any interest in attending one of our life-changing Plants and Miracles retreats and wish to explore the wondrous world of ayahuasca and A Course in Miracles, please visit us online at www.iamoneself.com and check out the retreats page. That's iamoneself.com/retreats. And if you really enjoyed today's content, consider making a donation to the Holy Earth Foundation or join our growing spiritual community on Patreon at patreon.com/IamOneself. Come, be a part, meet the like-minded, and gain access to the growing body of my work with discourses on miracle forgiveness, illumination vision, and much, much more. I hope to see you there. Please accept this gift, who is the miracle of Ash Avery, ayahuasquero and owner of the Garden of Peace Ayahuasca Retreat with his Icaro remedy. Love is the remedy, my friends, forever and ever. I love you so much. Until next time, God saves.
My remedy, you came along and rescued me. You are my medicine, my sweet remedy. You are my medicine, sweet like honey. When I needed you mostly. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. You're a special kind of medicine like no other I have ever discovered. The way you bring me up when I feel down, yeah, you bring a smile straight onto my face. The way you soothe my soul and you warm my heart with your love, with your love, your love, your love, your love is the medicine, your love is the remedy. L-O-V-E, L-O-V-E. Your love is the medicine, your love is the remedy. L-O-V-E. You're nothing less than an angel in my eyes. Yeah, I'm so damn lucky to have you in my life. You're oh so pretty, like a flower. There's so much medicine in your essence. Your love is the medicine. Your love is the remedy. L-O-V-E, L-O-V-E. Your love is the medicine. Your love is the remedy. L-O-V-E. Ba 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 da ba da beat boom ba da ba ba da ba da beat boom ba da ba ba da ba da beat boom ba da ba ba da ba da beat boom ba da ba ba da ba da beat boom ba da ba ba da ba da beat boom ba da ba ba da ba da. Pew. What's up?